everybody. And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Get in the Herd, Richmond's award-winning podcast here, brought to you by the McShin Recovery Resource Foundation. My name is Nathan Mitchell. I'm your host today. And Joey, look at that. All right. Man, we got some great special guests. I told you I teased a little bit about this on Tuesday. Our special guests today are Bob Triquet over here to my right, and to my left, I've got Matthew Connor. Bob is, Bob, who are you and what brings you here today? How about that?
My name is Bob Triquet. I'm a person in long-term recovery from a substance use disorder.
All right.
I came to Richmond to seek recovery. Currently, I'm working at the Virginia Association of Recovery Residences. I see Ben Kramer on the chat. Congratulations, Ben. And good to see you on Facebook.
All right. Well, thanks, Bob. Thank you for coming. And one couple of things you didn't add that I want to add to that is that you are alumni of McShin.
Yes.
And you are also the men's program director here. So, did you say that?
No, I didn't say that.
And the reason I love that about you is you were the men's program director when I was a participant here. So we've got we've got some feedback there. So Matthew, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
What brings you here today? Who are you and what do you do here?
Yeah, my name is Matthew Connor. I'm a person in recovery. I'm the administrative and data manager here at the McShin Foundation. I've ventured all the way from the first floor up here to the third floor, where I usually only come for Jeopardy and urine screens.
Not at the same time, though.
No.
Well, that's a good segue into the topic for today. So, I brought you both on, because you're two of my favorite people in the world, and also because I know that the two of you guys are really good friends, and that you have built a relationship where you've got you make fun. You create fun in recovery. And so I brought in, the topic of fun in recovery, but also the topic of, recovery house living. Since both of you have been house managers here in McShin Housing, and you've both lived in our housing, talk about, how your experience, in our housing and how you found fun in recovery, from the very beginning.
Well, shoot. When we were talking before this podcast, Nathan, I thought you were joking about the fun and recovery part. In recovery house living, I was like, man, that's what I'm good at, fun and recovery. When I was in the recovery house, like I loved it. Lived with a bunch of guys, and man, we used to pull pranks on each other. That was like kind of how it started. We always just having fun games. People would always put their name on their food, and we would always like put people's names on like the Taco Bell packets and stuff like that. Just put like Ed on all these little ketchup packets and stuff. They're just like, come on, Ed, what the heck? We get it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. What other crazy pranks? What pranks did you pull, Matthew?
First when I moved into New York house, which I think is the house Bob was in, there's still a bunch of food and packets labeled with Ed. I don't know how much time was in between us, but that's still there. Damn. I think there was some other stuff in the basement that was a result of Bob.
Jeremy, if you're listening right now, you should probably clean that up over at your house.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Man, really, one of the ways I found some fun there, which probably wasn't always was the best thing, was that we always had chores to do. I always enjoyed making it a point to do mine at like 5 a.m. in the morning, especially when it's vacuuming. Didn't go over too well most of the time, but
and you got to be a house leader.
Yeah, I did. Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, that's so now that you've both moved out of our McShin housing, right? You've moved in. I believe you both, live on your own now, right? Do you live with anybody special?
Yeah, I do.
How's that going for you?
It's pretty cool. It's a very loving relationship, and then living together. It's a lot of teamwork.
Yeah.
We just got a dog.
Yeah, very cute dog.
Talk of teamwork. Dog goes to work all day with her, and I get to do a lot of the nighttime duties. But yeah, it's fun. It's just like chores in a recovery house. You got chores in your own place, and learn to have fun with it. I do most of the cleaning. She does most of the cooking.
And she's great too at cooking. Oof.
Yeah, amazing.
Wow.
I don't even really like to go out to eat anymore. Change my perspective on things.
Wow.
Yeah.
How are things going with you over there, Bob?
Yeah, so I'm still pulling pranks.
How's that working out with you and Madison, huh?
Yeah, still pulling pranks. Typical putting her name on food. No, things are going great. She's really adapted to all my projects, all my art projects, and all my junk and stuff like that. So I have no complaints.
Do you guys have a built? Do you have a dark room, Bob? If you don't know Bob's a photography buff. Is that a word we use these days?
I don't know.
Buff, yeah.
Well, yeah, it is. Yeah,
enthusiast.
Yeah, so I love photography. I love art in a whole. I always had a film camera just because digital camera is kind of expensive, and just never had a computer as well. But yeah, and to answer your question about the dark room, yeah. So actually, me and my girlfriend's guest bathroom is pretty much my dark room. It's so bad. It's so bad. I got things everywhere, man.
Oh God, you have like the bathtub sectioned out into 3 different sections for the chemicals?
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it. That's kind of how it is. And I have like this big contraption, which is like larger, and that's like sits on top of the bathtub. And to me, like it's just fun. You know what I mean? It's just fun, yeah.
Well, I brought Madison here along on the show, and I'm just kidding. But I did talk to her beforehand, and she said she's grateful that you're not into pottery. I'm kidding about that. But can you imagine having a kiln in there? So what do you guys do together? What have you guys done recently? I know you guys have been out camping and doing all kinds of outdoorsy stuff when it was cold too, I think, wasn't it?
Well, I wouldn't call that camping. I think we had a cabin.
Oh, glamping.
Yeah, we had a cabin. We're getting ready to go camping tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Actually,
rain or shine.
Yeah.
Oh, where are you going?
Bob can tell you about it.
It's so it's in Virginia. It's called Zuni, I think, right? Yeah, Zuni.
Zuni.
It's right off of 460. I always get 460 and 360 in this area.
Yeah.
Mixed up. But yeah, it's just farmers, they rent out their property, and you could just rent it out for $25 a night. You just go in there and you camp and stuff. So hopefully we'll get some good, sunshine.
You're just renting out somebody's farm?
Yeah, you rent out people's, farm, and but there's a pond on it, so I want to do a lot of fishing.
Oh, right on. Okay. That sounds pretty bad. Yeah, I can say badass. That sounds pretty badass. I'm renting. I think I told you both this already. I'm renting an island in a few weeks, and it sort of dawned on me that I guess I will be camping too, but I will also be kayaking there. So,
nice.
But it's it's right there at the river. But this an opportunity to do something kind of goofy, kind of on my own, or whoever wants to show up. But get in touch with nature. So. I'm not much of a fisherman, but I'll be bringing my food in, maybe cans of tuna and salmon. But you guys I understand you've been really into pickleball. Tell me about pickleball. Tell me about table tennis and pickleball and how that affects your life in the past, how it affected your recovery, and what it does for your recovery today.
Yes, so we were into pickleball. I mean, me and Matthew played ping pong like every day for a while, like at 4:30, especially right after work. So it's just like a lot of fun. Pickleball is pretty much like a miniature tennis, just a racket sport. It's been kind of popular here the last, maybe the last decade, and a lot of pickleball courts kind of showing up at like rec centers and county parks, state parks, and stuff like that. But yeah, just a racquetball sport. It's pretty fun. Me and Matt used to play a lot. I play about, once a week now. Still a lot of my friends in recovery still play as well too. They're kind of insane about it. It is pretty addictive. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I've seen. We've had a couple people on here who are pretty enthusiastic about the gym, but if you, yeah, there we go.
There we go.
There we go. We want to hear all those words. We've had some enthusiasts of the gym, pickleball. I know you guys did that a long time. Table tennis. If you worked here a year ago and you needed to get anything done, forget about after 4:30 because the pickleball table was out. I mean, the table tennis was out, and it was just Bob and everybody tearing it up in the big room downstairs. So, kind of miss those days a little bit.
Yeah.
Now I just dip out at 4. So what else is going on, guys? Tell me about.
Well, all right. So we got pickleball, tennis. Now we're shooting pool.
Yeah,
Whoa.
9-ball.
Yeah, 9-ball.
9-ball. Is that like an actual? Is that different than 8-ball?
Yeah, there's 9 balls instead. Well, 8-ball doesn't even have 8 balls, but there's 9 balls.
8-ball doesn't have 8 balls.
Yeah, so we play on a league with a bunch of guys in recovery as well too.
Oh, no kidding.
Actually the league's been, well, not the league, sorry. The team name is anonymous, and the team name, or the team, has been around for a while. For a good amount of time, it was a bunch of AA guys, and then it's kind of transitioned. Some of the older members, team captains and stuff like that, have transitioned out. One of them moved to Florida. Actually, 2 of them did. And one of my good friends, Ed, took over team captain. So we've been trying to recruit younger guys, younger women to play 9-ball with us.
9-ball.
Yeah, it's pretty humbling. I think I took an L to a 7-year-old woman a couple weeks ago.
A loss.
A loss.
I'm learning all this terminology here.
Yeah, it's
9-ball.
It's tough. Like we suck. Like Ed's like really good. But yeah, I think I went the whole season. I won 2 games.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. It takes some time, but it's just like you came in here earlier, Nathan, like with the fun and recovery, and a lot of times I just got to create that spark, create that fun. Not that I create the league or anything like that, but like force myself to do things that take up time. And I usually not like hate, but like I always like, oh man, I got the pool league tonight. But I always like leave there feeling like pretty fun, seeing my friends and stuff, and always have a pretty good time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I like it because it gives me like a relaxation with a purpose, rather than like, I'm just gonna chill with some friends. Like, there's like a purpose and like a rhyme for reason for us like meeting up to have some fun, shoot some pool, play some pickleball, get competitive, get angry, talk shit.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, looking up here, we've got a couple people up here. You saw Joey and Ben, and I think Ben's gonna be on the show next week. Actually, Ben, I just plugged you, Ben. Justin Ray, Justin.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I think he's part of that Squeal Team 6 or Swole Team 6 or whatever. Squeal Team 6. I'm gonna call them that now.
Justin's like, what the heck? I see Brian on there. Brian's my boy.
Brian's my boy too, right? Brian's one of my best friends in recovery, and I've known him since I got here. It's just funny because I'm in the room here now with 2 people I met on my very first day here in McShin. You, Bob, and you, Justin. That's pretty awesome for me. And of course, I've known you since you got here yourself. Mm-hmm. So I love that. And I look up here and I've got people I've known for a long time, and then new people like Caitlin. I'm not sure if I don't know if I know Caitlin. And of course, Debbie. Good to see you, Debbie. I miss you, Marta, and I miss you, Debbie, too.
Yeah.
Debbie, we got to get back on the show again, too.
Yeah, Debbie's awesome.
Debbie is awesome. So
and Marta.
I miss the quilting. A picture. Oh, you're not on Facebook, are you, Bob? A picture from quilting. Did you see that like a week ago or 2?
Yeah.
It was a memory.
I did see the picture. I think it had a Bob on the end of it.
Yeah.
They're quilting.
Yeah, that's all right. We adjust as we go around here. But Bob, you've had a lot of transition, since you started here as a participant. For people who are listening, if you would help us talk about like what you did. Hey, this is live. This is live theater here, guys. Talk about what you did when you got here, and if you can give us a brief, kind of give us a history of you and what you're doing now. I mean, you're doing some really awesome Commonwealth level, Virginia level, all across the state level stuff right now.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, which is pretty freaking badass.
Yeah, thank you. So I moved to Richmond in 2016, August 2nd. I moved into a recovery residence. It was a McShin house. And I really didn't have a whole lot of knowledge about just recovery or what peer-to-peer recovery was, what recovery capital, recovery residence, what it has to offer. So I kind of came in with not really knowing anything,
A mullet and a jean jacket.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. And a bad habit. But I moved in the house, and I remember, the guys were pretty kind to me. I met everyone. Everyone was really nice to me, and they were like, "All right, well, you got to meet one more guy. He's like the house leader, but he's at work right now." And I remember like thinking back, I was like, "Man, so I could like live here, I guess like be in recovery. I didn't know what that meant, and work a full-time job." So that like gave me like a lot of hope. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So the house leader came home. He had a pickup truck, some shingles in the bed. He came out. He had like a dirty shirt on, and he introduced himself. And I was like, that gave me a lot of like hope during that time. I was like, man, this is like really cool. Like, so you guys just like work and stuff like that. And they said, oh, you gotta be a part of this thing for a little bit. And as your time comes along, you can start working. So that was like my goal. I just wanted to work. I figured I'd stay in the recovery house. Some time kind of passed, and I got some different type of leadership responsibilities. Became a house leader at a certain amount of time, and then kind of transitioned to another recovery residence that was kind of like an apartment. There were like maybe like 70 beds there. 40 of them were men. So I kind of like helped oversee that, kind of create community and stuff. And so like early on, those first couple of years, I was just kind of hanging out in the recovery residence and, kind of helping out, washing dishes, cooking food on the weekends. So I had like the best setup, It's like I would work in recovery during the week. It was like kind of maybe like part-time, I didn't have a whole lot going on. And then on the weekends, I would work in the restaurant, work these doubles, make sushi, wash dishes, and stuff like that. So like I just like I had it made, you know what I mean? It was great. And then eventually, I transitioned and working at McShin, became the director of the men's program. I did that for about 3 years. It was, awesome. I probably learned everything that I know about just how to be a good employee and, how to like promote myself well. And I did that for a long time. It was awesome. At the end, there was 7 men's recovery residences. I think it was like 90 men, so it was like a big task.
Yeah.
And then like recently in the last year, I transitioned to another nonprofit. It's called the Virginia Association of Recovery Residences. I've been working there for I think about 10 months. And then it's pretty much, what's in the title, an association of recovery residences. These operators, they come in and they, adopt, some different type of ethical codes, different type of house standards. And it's like a standard of recovery residences in Virginia. And it's like it's an awesome association. I've been a part of it. I volunteered there for a really long time. I was the treasurer for a real long time. I think when I just started at McShin, probably like 2017, and then just down the line, position open, I applied for and I got it. For me, like personally, like I didn't want to be like a recovery house operator, like own houses and stuff like that and be operations. Like that wasn't like my goal of living in a house, different recovery organizations and stuff like that. So like working for VAR is like pretty much the next best thing. Like I love the recovery residents. I love pulling pranks as a new resident there. I love taking the guys out to bowling. Like it was just an awesome, fun experience. And like I really believe in the recovery residents. And that missing part to like long-term recovery. It's like holds a special part of it. I lived in one for geez, like pretty much 2 years, you know.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to leave, you know what I mean? Someone forced me to leave. But yeah, so it holds a special place, and you know, I just love the position that I have now. Just I get to work with operators, I get to work with residents to a certain degree, and this new kind of nonprofit organization kind of blossoming.
Well, you have, a very specific skill set that you brought to that, or I guess a set of experiences and skills that you bring to the position now because, being having been a house leader,
Mm-hmm.
having been the director of men's programming here and having seen, firsthand what works and what does not work.
Mm.
And I've seen a lot of, because I've been here I was here as a participant for a lot of your tenure as men's program director, and seen the, as objectively as I can. I've seen you transform, from being a very good person to being a good person at your job to being exceptional at your job. And I love that. And that gives me a lot of hope. I mean, it still gives me a lot of hope, but it gave me a lot of hope at that time, to walk in here and have, Justin was my house leader when I got here, and, he had a truck and a job, and, they were cooking food and handing me food when I walked in the door. It was like, wow, cool. Like these guys, like it took a while for me to get comfortable because I'm like, well, I'm older, but Justin's almost my age. And, sorry, Justin. But like, and Justin had my, my drug of choice. So, we bonded quickly over that, and I was able to come and talk to him about anything, and me being me, it was all the time I need attention. But so now, you have also been a house leader too. So, and now you are in a position here. I always think, Matthew, I think you're the guy. I think of all the people here, when anybody asks me about anything, it's usually you I send them to. And I always feel a little guilty about that because I'm like, you really are sort of the utility knife around here. You're the Swiss Army knife of staff members, which is pretty freaking amazing, and you've been around, and I don't think I was actually here when you first got here, but I remember you from groups. So talk to us about what you've done, from the beginning and now where you are and what you're doing now.
Yeah, I first got to McShin, came in as a participant on October 24th, 2018. I think Bob was the men's director then. Just struggling. My brother had come through here, and he helped me get in, linked me up with Bob, and did the paperwork and moved on into housing. And then just like, from the get-go that first night, the house leader then, this dude Pete, he had known my brother too. And
you went to New York House first.
Yeah, my brother let him know I was coming, and just like, right from day one, every day, hey, we're going to a meeting, hop in the car. We're going to a meeting, hop in the car. You're not working, dropping you off up at the recovery center. You're gonna hang out there all day, and that's just something I didn't have in my life at the time. Like, other men about the same age as me, like holding me accountable, but also like including me, on fun things and doing stuff together that was, positive and healthy. And I'd really been yearning for that. Like in active addiction, I would say things to myself like, God, I wish I just had some friends to go do something with it. Dinner revolve around like drugs or alcohol.
Yeah.
But I'm going to use drugs or alcohol. But once I do that, I want to go hang out with some friends that do something besides that. And I would say that stuff, to myself all the time. But, when I got here, it's like, that came true. It's amazing when I remove the drugs and alcohol, I find some friends to do some things that don't revolve around drugs and alcohol.
Some fun things.
Yeah. And like, so really like, that first couple months, that's just like what carried me was like the camaraderie and really like, you're like, give yourself a break, just kind of giving myself a break, just kind of like having fun with guys. I didn't have a job the first month. I was lucky, my family supported me in getting here. So I didn't have that stress. And then I started doing some side work with, our CEO's husband, Lillard's Lawn Care. Check them out. Yeah. Start working with them and just volunteering up at McShin. And, eventually the volunteering turned into a job. So I went from, doing landscaping, which I'd done for a long time all of my life. So it was nice to kind of, just hang out around McShin and start to work and just start to absorb information. That's kind of what I do. It's like, just like absorb information, filter it, and then put it back out there, as seen fit for the team or for myself. That's kind of what I try to do. So like around here, like people call it like the data guy or like right. That's like that's the main role around here is to oversee and help collect not just like data on the participants that come through and how they're doing here and how they're doing when they become alumni, but just the organization as a whole. Like basically like all data is like every bit and piece of information. And you never know what's going to be useful. So like for me, it's good to like save everything. Like people send me emails and like resources and this or that. I save everything. And so many times, like 6 months down the road, like you say, Nathan, someone will ask me like, hey, what's blah blah blah? I'm like, guess what? Got it right here on the computer. Saved it. Yeah. And that's how it kind of flows. And so the duties and responsibilities that I have broadened and grown since I've been here. And I took on some extra stuff last year and in last year, I had a recurrence of use. And in that moment, like all I got from McShin and the community was love. And I've worked through that. We've worked through that. And I'm still here working today, and I love it, man. Like, this place is awesome.
Yeah, I always laugh about my personal experience with leaving and coming back, and when I was right before I came back, I was literally breaking doors down in the house where I was living. That's where my mental state had gotten into, and then I think within 2 weeks I had keys to this building. So
I remember that.
I'm like, I'm breaking down doors. I can't. Robert Legg up here. Robert, good to see you, buddy. Robert says this sounds like a whole lot better than drug court.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know, Robert. I know, man. I know. Amen to that.
Matt, can you give me a glass of water?
Ooh, there we go. Robert,
Sir.
I was talking to somebody in North Carolina. Apparently they call drug courts recovery courts in North Carolina. I like that terminology better because words do matter. I don't know if the actual institution is any different, so that's probably a little more important than the name itself. But something to think about, Robert. And I know I need to talk to you later, but gentlemen, since we got you here, now I get to have you guys in my office all the time, right? Not as much as I would love, right? I would like. Are you all right over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we Justin and I were talking yesterday, so we're putting a budget together that involves getting better mic stands here. More.
These are cool though. I like them.
Yeah, but they, if I just like touch it, it just makes all kinds of like I'm probably annoying. There's some guy listening right now in a jail in California who's going to get pissed off and because of me doing that to the thing. I'm getting pissed off at myself. So I get to have you guys in there. We get to play a couple games on the little. What you call the thing, the Alexa thing in there. How do you feel about Jeopardy? What's your favorite kind? Yeah, right.
It's pretty fun. I'm terrible at it. I'm so bad at it. So bad.
Yeah, it's I love it. It's real nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
Growing up through my household, the few years I lived with my parents in my 20s, it's like 7:30. Jeopardy time. Sometimes that was the only time I showed my face during the day, what was for Jeopardy. But yeah, I've been watching since a kid. RIP Alex Trebek.
Yeah, and Alex is still doing he's not, but they still have plenty of his old voice, I guess, left for the app. So it's nice to have him there. So what other games? I remember, Bob, when you were here as men's program director, it was constantly like, okay, now we're going to have field day, and now we're going to have chess club, and we're going to have guitar band club, and then we're going to have, photography club. And is this a theme for you?
Oh my God, yeah, it is. I just love having fun. I'm always getting into like projects, and it was funny because you were mentioning the mic stands, and I remember I was like playing playing music with these like recovery guys, a couple of them are McShin participants, and we took all this gear, these microphones, these stands, that mixer over there, and like we decided we were gonna like record like just like what our band practice sounded like. But I remember these little clamp mic stands. I clamped them to like this the rafters, the joists. But anyways, we got done recording and stuff like that. And the guy who was in control of all this stuff got like so mad, like filed this complaint, said he can't use the microphones and the stands and stuff. But
was this at New York House?
No, this was at the house right up there. But it was pretty funny. Yeah, so I'm always getting stuff. The recovery band was like a lot of fun. I did that for like 8 months. Had like a little chess club with a guy. Love games, and I think like for me, like in the recovery process is kind of like Matt said, like trying to involve people, try to bring people, together to just do fun stuff, and like that. I think that makes a difference, especially with someone new into recovery that's probably insecure, probably doesn't have a lot of friends and stuff like that. And I think just giving the opportunity and inviting like goes a long way. And that's kind of like my personal recovery of like my service to the new person recovery. Just like try to involve them, and try to create these little chess clubs, band club, pool club and stuff like that. And just to try to involve people, and it's up to them if they want to kind of do it.
Yeah, and I think at least for me, it's a lot more appealing sometimes. If someone's like, "Hey, let's go hit golf balls. Let's go play a game. Let's go do this." Not like, "Hey, let's go have some really deep conversation." but like in doing that stuff, like you find these moments and these pauses where you're with friends you've been friends with for a while, or new people, and you start talking some real life stuff, or getting some stuff off your chest, or just just being able to like relate to people. And sometimes it helps having that format of bonding over a social activity first.
Yeah, and that's what I love about this place, and I'm sure other recovery community organizations across the country or the world do the same thing. But with my experiences here, we have that opportunity and that support from staff, from the above down, to just do what we do something. We wanted to put a rehearsal space into a garage in one of the houses, and guess what? There's a rehearsal space at the Chamberlain House now, and that was just used. I don't know how often it gets used, but I know it was used yesterday or the day before, because I saw somebody put a video up on Facebook.
Nice.
So that's the kind of stuff, and I know that you were strongly involved with putting that together. And it's like those things, whether they stick around or not. It's like that moment becomes really, really important. And I guess, in recovery, we talk about one day at a time. A lot of us do. And, that's what I got. I got today. Today, this is what I can do.
Yeah.
Last night, it was Joey. Joey. It was okay. Last night,
Sure
using that
is.
room. Yeah. And I, but I mean, that space, it's like, it's an important space in there. I remember when we cleaned that space out, we were we were going to build it out for an apartment for Cricket, I think, at the time.
That's right. And it flooded. Cricket got live in the water.
Cricket got okie doked on his way back from California.
He's aquatic.
I know, but but we get that freedom to do things like that. Like, there's a guy, at McSunny, he used to be a house manager here at our intensive house, and he used to get all the guys together, and they would all, plan meals together.
Yeah.
And they would, I think you were here for that particular participant. I won't put his name out there, but there are other people who like to do that kind of stuff, like cooking together. Man, I love that.
Yeah.
As you can tell. And I like to play Jeopardy and board games too, but I'm not so much with the frisbee golf and stuff. But but that's the cool thing. You can find somebody to do something with, and it doesn't have to be going out and getting crack or meth or something.
Mm-hmm.
Meth.
Yeah, I played what is it? I played 9-ball with a participant here. It was a couple weeks ago, and like 2 weeks before, I took this other participant to play ping pong. I was on a Friday. I was like, let's go play ping pong. I'll get out of work early. we'll go. So I ended up playing ping pong with this guy, David, who's pretty good at ping pong. He beat me 3-5, but I'm coming back for him. But anyways, we took this other guy, and he was like, look, I'm really into pool. And I was like, that's cool. I play on a pool league, this and that. I suck. I'm a level 2, 3. And I was like, hey, look. I was like, look.
Yeah.
Eli, like next time you go home, bring your pool sticks and we'll go out and play. And so like time passes and I end up seeing him a couple weeks later. I'm like Eli, like whenever you get your pool sticks, we're gonna play. And he's like, look, man, I got my pool sticks. I was like, oh crap. He kind of like put me on the spot, And I was like, oh crap, now I gotta play with them. So I was like, well, look, let's try to schedule something for next week. And it was like a Thursday. I was like, let's schedule something for next week, and we'll go out there like after 5. And like he like left, and I was like, well, tomorrow's Friday. So I shot him a text. I was like, look, let's play tomorrow, 5:30. I got this thing at 4:30 to 5:30. We'll go play for like an hour. So we went out and played. I mean, it was fun. It was like the excitement of like, you know what, we're doing it. You got your stick. We're going this time. We won. We had like Red Bulls and some water, and we like played for an hour straight. Cost $10. He was, he was trying to pay. I was like, you don't have to pay, man. Like, that's what it's about.
Yeah, you just brought something else up. I want to bring up, and this is and by the way, this show today is brought to you by a Little Lawn Care and Monster. But you mentioned the energy drinks. How are you doing with those 5-hour brain explosion drinks?
No more 5-hour energies. It's strictly coffee these days.
Strictly coffee and the occasional sugar-free Red Bull.
Exactly.
How are you doing with your energy drink consumption?
I keep it pretty much at a minimal. Till this recent trip we went on to the mountains, man. Came back. I think I doubled my caffeine intake. So trying to get that back down now. A lot of headaches, drink a lot more water.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough.
I've been walking around with gallons of water. I'm not necessarily drinking the whole gallon all day, but I'm walking around with a gallon. So, John Quick. Who's John Quick? Anybody know?
It's me. It's me.
Yeah, I'm not sure I know that person. Well, John Quick, I'm glad it's you. And Donald Wallace, is that Bob?
Yeah, Donald Wallace. We lived together at the Scott House, 2016, probably like late 2016. He's probably. We were talking about doing pranks and stuff in the recovery house. He was probably a part of like 50% of them. You know what I mean? He was a cool guy.
Oh, it's Gabe. Oh yeah, Gabe. I was talking about you.
Oh, okay.
Gabe, Gabe. You was you were here when he was here, weren't you? Last year. Yeah. Gabe. So Steve Worthington, he's talking about pre-workout for your caffeine. Steve Worthington, he's part of that Squeal Team 6, isn't he? I mean, Swole Team.
Squeal Team.
I'm saying that because Joey's watching.
That's pretty good.
Joey's kind of the leader of that pack. So
what is it, just like a gym crew? Like
yeah, well, it's
cool.
Joe. Well, I won't give out names, but Joey Jewell, and then like Joe B.
Getting ripped.
Oh, yeah. Size is the prize. Oh man, I love it. Talk about competitive. And by the way, Joey, Squeal Team 6, you can take it. Steven, all right. So tell me, so you guys are going camping, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've rented a farm. Will you be doing farming? Will you be meeting up with Alex to perhaps talk about corn farming?
Probably not.
No, we won't.
We won't. No. I hope to have Alex on the show next week, by the way. But
I have watched the trailers for it.
Have you?
It's pretty interesting.
We need to plug. Hey, let's plug the show. So what is it? What do they call it? Corn Warriors.
Corn Warriors.
The show is brought to you today by Corn Warriors.
Or Corn Wars. Something
Corn
like
Wars.
That.
All right. I like that. Well, so we have that. You guys are going farming.
Yeah, we're going farming.
Camping on a farm.
Yeah.
Is that we? I have no idea what that squeak. We got squeaky noises in here. So one of the things that we're looking at doing here with this is actually soundproofing half of the room and putting a wall here. I haven't brought that up with our uppers, but it's just something I've been thinking of. Oh, Honesty, you're right there. Great. Honesty, we're thinking about putting some soundproofing in here and doing some work in here, but we got to get the money for that. So we'll talk about that later. Good to see you, Honesty. I hope you're enjoying your time at the beach with your family.
beach.
Yeah, it's been rough. But what else is going on, guys?
Camping.
Camping.
Camping, invest in a lot of camping gear. Will you be bringing Ticket to Ride?
Yeah, Ticket to Ride is a board game.
Ooh, all right.
If you're on the Facebook and you're listening and you like board games or you like a good simple game to have fun, highly recommend Ticket to Ride. It's about $35 on the Amazon, Target, Toys R Us. I think Toys R Us is still around, isn't it?
I have no idea.
But it's a fun game. Really fun, really easy to learn. To answer your question, Matthew, yes.
Yeah. So it's just it's a wild journey. You get 45 train cars. And you're trying to go to the most cities while keeping the longest train, and whoever can do that is the winner.
Wait, is this a board game?
It's an actual board game
with trains?
Mm-hmm.
I do like trains. I like trains.
Little plastic trains, and you try to like connect them and build routes.
Are they like magnetic, like little connected?
No. But you get like points. You get different points for like long, like different routes and stuff like that. And you have like mission cards. Really easy to play. Me and my girlfriend, we kind of bought it on a whim. You know what I mean? Because we also like to have fun. You know what I mean? She's in recovery as well too, so we're in Target. We're buying this game.
Brian, we are aware of the problem. I know something's squeaking. I don't know what it is. Sorry, buddy. It's not a. Well, I mean, I think it's. I have no idea. It's the third floor. It's just the third floor. But it's something that you just brought up. You mentioned $35 for a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And something that you bought on a whim. I've noticed in recovery that $35 on a whim is not as scary or as frightening a thing to me. It's like suddenly I can pay my bills, and I can do some fun stuff, and that's a beautiful thing. And I think it's because I can hold a job a little longer.
Yeah, right.
And I'm not spending the money elsewhere. But it's neat to be able to do that. Like I spent the last couple of weeks, I painted my bedroom, right? And then I hired a participant to come and help me. Well, he did most of the work, but he came in and we sanded down I paid him.
Mm-hmm.
We sanded down the room and went and bought the paints and whatnot. And I bought him some equipment, he could keep, and he painted the room and stuff. And then I've been decorating. I took some pictures that I blew up from my trip around the country last year, and Robert. And it's fun to be able to do those things today, to be able to get up in the morning and make my bed and just sort of like, all right, this is what I'm going to do today. Today, my morning was I got up and I'm like, I'm going to call out of work for a few hours and sit at home. And I did that. I was like, hey, Jesse, I'm going to work from home for a few hours if that's all right, I needed some time, to decompress a little bit. I still need a little time. I've been struggling with some things, but
I was kind of thinking about something similar to that the other day, just about like what recovery's given me. It's not just the ability to do things spontaneously and on a whim, but it's also the ability to plan out fun activities and like be able to stay committed to them and reliable as a person is going to go on this activity, whether it's like going camping this weekend. My girlfriend and I are going to go visit my brother in June in California. Like, being able to put money up front for some tickets to go out of state with, the confidence that you'll be going in June it's not something I'm taking for granted.
It's also nice to not have to check in with a PO before I go.
Yeah, that's it.
Travel pass. Can I get a travel pass?
Oh, I'm just going to drive around the country.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I bought chess in the recovery house. I think I bought it like 4 times at Walmart, and it's not a cheap game. You know what I mean? You can get like the little cheap version for like, but
they have the app on your phone.
Yeah, but it's not as fun. I don't play as good.
You get real competitive with it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Did you see the Queen's Gambit?
I did a little bit. I'm really bad at like those binge watching and stuff like that. But my girlfriend watches all that stuff, so I kind of tinker around the house, kind of look. But yeah, it was a good one.
It was intense.
Yeah, it was just one season, right?
Yeah.
Just one season. Yeah,
so far.
I started playing one game of chess every day after I watched that on the like free chess play online because you get one game a day on it.
I was never, I know the way pieces move and the horsey and the little pokey hat bishop thingy, but what is it, the castle and the rook?
Bishop?
Rook.
Okay. wait, is it? It's the castle and rook are the same piece, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
they are.
Okay, yeah. Oh, but castling is the actual verb when the king and the cat and the rook do a thing.
Only time two pieces
Mm-hmm.
move at the same time.
Okay.
Love chess.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Still stuck at it. Like a level
I'm
1.
terrible. I like how you level yourself. It's like, are these actual ratings?
Every game I keep talking about, like, yeah, suck at it.
Well, but you, what are you good at?
Oh, let's see. Man, I think the only game or sport that, like, not like I brag about is maybe like ping pong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like ping pong. That's the only thing I'll kind of boast about. I don't boast about a whole lot of stuff.
I've
really.
seen you play ping pong.
But David G beat me like 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
5-3 series, so I'll be back for him.
Bob's also good at pickleball.
Pickleball, yeah. He's decent at pickleball.
He's a decent photographer.
Well, on the pickleball court, like
He's also
you got
a pretty good
players that
writer.
are really good by themselves, but Bob's like a good teammate to have because he's consistent and he doesn't make mistakes. So
Yeah, and I was always like pretty athletic my whole life too.
what's up, Mom?
Helen Connor.
Mom was calling me.
I was actually just about to sign us off too.
Yeah. Helen Connor, that's my mother.
Hello, Mrs. Connor.
She gave the little heart emojis.
The little hearts coming out of the eyes. I like that. That's good. That's good stuff. That's good. I don't get that from your mom. Although your mom was a really, really what's the word I'm looking for? She was really enthusiastic about my trip last year. Really supported that. It was really cool.
Yeah,
Cool to have.
she supports McShin.
Yeah. I have to give her a photo. Anyway, it's time to land the plane, I think, guys. It's
Or park the train.
park the train. Do you park a train?
Maybe you yield.
Yeah. What do you?
Yeah.
You just stop a train.
Stop, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess you just stop putting coal in it or turn the electric. Well, this is getting it. If you have any ideas on how to stop a train, please put it in the chat.
Yeah, you still don't want to derail.
Yeah, you don't without derailing, right? Because that's no fun. But on that note, our guest today, thank you very much, Bob Triquet. I know that you've been doing some amazing stuff over at VAR, and you will continue to do amazing stuff over there. And I'm glad that you're still in my network.
Yeah, thank you.
Matthew. I get to work with you every day, and I hope you never leave here, at least not while I'm still here. I mean, obviously, I want to see you do well in your life and stuff too. But it's like you're a go-to guy, and I'm so glad that you're here and around all the time. So thank you for being a part of the show.
Thank you.
Glad you're in my network, and Justin, our
Yeah, thanks, Justin.
our producer
Justin.
over there. Good to see you. Love you. Thank you all for watching today, and tune in next Tuesday. I'm not sure who we're going to have yet, but I know it's going to be fun. Thank you very much.
My name is Shannon Lance. I'm currently here in recovery at McShin Foundation. I got out of jail on January 10th, 2021, and while I was incarcerated there, my mother passed away due to COVID complications on December 14th. It was a really challenging event in my life. While I was incarcerated there, I watched the recovery videos and the podcast on the tablets there, that was made by the McShin Foundation. Getting the Heard podcast really made me feel like I was a part of something on the outside, because there's people that are commenting and just seeing people that I was incarcerated with on the videos, and just thinking, man, that's going to be me before too long. And I'm going to be sitting there in them rooms and be able to be a part of the podcast and get in the Heard series. And now I'm a part of the Heard here at McShin, and it's an amazing feeling, and it's nice having a fulfilled sense of hope in my life currently, and just to live one day at a time, and just to have positive feelings in my life and good relationships with my family and friends is an amazing event.